Hello and welcome to the Divas and Decaf podcast. I'm Sasha.
Mumsy.
Brock.
We're here to talk about episode 7 of Bachelor in Paradise. Let's get right into it. So they start off day 13 in Paradise. That's how the episode starts. And then they show Kim and Faith. So what are our thoughts on Kim and Faith as a couple?
My thoughts are I think they've got something going because they're both pretty
weird.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Yeah, I think they're a pretty good match. I don't know what the word is, but I think they're a fine match.
They're just kind of in their own little world. I think they're a good match. I think they'll be good for each other. I think they'll continue a relationship after this.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you guys think about, because the episode kind of started off where Keith is talking about, because his heart condition, he's got to, Kim, sorry.
His EKG.
His EKG, because he got anxious that one of the last prior episodes, and thought he was having a heart attack. He was not having a heart attack, but they wanted him to wear a monitor. So then he has a talk he pulls. Now, mind you, Faith has been there for a couple days at this point, because we're only on day 14 for the entire series.
Yeah.
So he pulls Faith and tells her he's got to talk to her, and she almost immediately starts crying. What did you guys?
Oh yeah.
What were your thoughts on that?
And then it just ended up being a false alarm because he was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My thoughts were that they're just perfect for each other. The way that he's all dramatic about his EKG and she's crying about it. It's just a match made in heaven.
Yeah. Oof, if she was crying about that, if he dies or something, what is she going to do?
Well, especially...
She's going to kill herself.
Oh my God.
Well, I think they're a good couple because they both act kind of the same. And she's crying over literally nothing. He's just telling her he's got to wear a heart monitor, which isn't uncommon at his age.
Yeah, it's better now.
Yeah,
and she just starts crying.
She starts crying, and she's, mind you, she's known Keith.
The kiss did it.
The kisses, yeah.
She's known him at this point. All these dramatics they've known each other for maybe 48 hours. It might be a little bit longer, but it's fairly, this is just a brand new thing. So that's that actually made me kind of laugh and think, yeah.
Oh. And then I got a kick out of everyone else at Paradise. They think Faith is being fake, and she doesn't actually like him, and they have no idea that she's being very real. Like when he was giving her the massage, and then therapist, know-it-all, guru, God, Jesus,
Alpha
Dale likes to say that, or he was saying that Faith is totally acting on it. He's the blah, 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 blah. Faith isn't real about it. Nope. You're wrong, Dale. Faith is really into it, and they're perfect for each other.
Okay, know-it-all. First of all, know-it-all Dale, I didn't even pay attention to that because I can't stand listening to anything said. But when they were talking about that, though, about that being fake, Faith being fake, I thought it was just about the massage. Was it about her just and Kim's relationship?
I think it was both.
Oh, how did you take that, Bubba?
Say that again?
Well, because they were like, I think it's fake. I think it's fake. They were talking about Faith in the beginning there, and it was when Kim was giving her a massage. So I guess I took it as.
I guess I missed that they were saying it was fake.
Yeah,
oh.
That her I thought it was just about the massage, but.
Oh.
I thought they were just talking about
massage or just in general.
Yeah, I guess that's how I took it.
I would make sure to talk to your mic.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to the next subject. The episode also starts out with Leia. She's still reeling about Jonathan friend-zoning her. Now, they do end up later on in the episode. They have a talk and they make up. Let's talk. What are your thoughts on Leia and Jonathan?
Okay. I'm wondering if Leia is related to Kim. Because she has an imaginary, like Kim, she also has had this imaginary relationship that was going somewhere with Jonathan. Now, mind you, don't forget, Kim's had some imaginary relationships since he's been on the show. First, it was with, was it Leslie, his first imaginary relationship?
Yep.
And then I don't remember who was the second one. There was another imaginary relationship. So when she started talking like that, she just won't stop whining about it. So that's my thoughts on that.
I thought they did have a nice conversation when they made up, and she says, "I'm fine with being friends with you, Jonathan," which I don't know if it's totally true, but she's fine with it. She just didn't want to be the last one to hear about it, and he should have just told her straight up. And it's like, okay, whatever. But they end up making up, and they end up being a pretty small part of the episode overall. Okay.
Yeah, Leia won't accept that Jonathan's trying to friend zone her. And
Yeah.
I think she just needs to just take the L and quit begging him to tell her why, and just she's having a hard time accepting it.
Yeah.
I agree with Bubba there. She's
She won't accept it.
I know you were saying make up, but like, what were they making up about? They're just friends. I mean,
well, she was mad at him.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess so. I guess so.
Yeah. So, okay. Next in the episode, they had the relationship test with the secret rendezvous. I think we kind of agreed. We thought it was a little silly because just because some people have some of the same answers on paper doesn't mean they're actually compatible as a couple. So this was kind of like a silly test. However,
yeah, just because you have more in common with someone doesn't mean you're more compatible with someone.
Right.
There's a
for
difference, but yeah, whatever.
Yeah, totally agree. Jonathan and Leia end up winning because they had the most same answers, and we're like, or you said, Mom, well, that's because they're good friends. And then Alicia and Andrew meet up in the secret rendezvous. Andrew says he's all in on Alex. I thought that was really sweet of Andrew. I really like Andrew, except later on in the episode when all the drama is hitting and he's talking about bro code. That's a no for me, Andrew. So I was kind of disappointed in Andrew this episode once the later drama, which we will talk about, got to a head.
Yeah, I agree. At this point, I thought Andrew was sweet. Also, I have a really hard time saying that because there's a lot to talk about what happened at the end of by the end of this episode. By the end of this episode, I've lost brain cells. I'm kind of mad at you for making me watch the series because it's kind of painful. What did you think about that? Also, Bubba,
are we getting into it, or should we just
not
wait?
quite yet?
Just wait until we're to it. There's a lot to it.
We're getting to it.
Right.
We're leading up to it, and then also Bailey and Brian meet in the middle of the secret rendezvous, and Brian says to her, "Consider it."
And that's where the whole thing starts.
This is where things start to unravel. The beginnings of the unravelings.
Mm-hmm.
So then, Bailey says that she's disappointed in Brian for wanting to rendezvous, and we're sitting there, we're like, Bailey, if only you knew what he could tell you in that rendezvous. Anyone have any thoughts on that at that point?
Yeah, you're gonna feel pretty dumb watching this back, Bailey.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for you, poor Bailey, but
okay. In this whole, my thoughts on that was Brian Center. Okay, so they were compatible, so they have the chance to rendezvous. Bailey, she's clueless. We've known that. We've talked about the last couple episodes. She's completely clueless on Jeremy the liar. Now, that being said, he sends her a note because he now this is his opportunity. Now he wants to tell it. Brian wants to tell Bailey and kind of, tell her what's going on. So my thoughts were like, he wrote on the note, he had the note sent to her and it said,
we need to talk.
Yeah, or I just want to talk.
Yeah.
And maybe he should have I was thinking when she opened that note, I was like, okay, she's completely got the wrong idea. You should have said there's something I need to tell you. But at this point, I'm not quite sure if, I think there's some pull behind like the editors or the producers on maybe limiting on what he can, because then it's just to make this all develop, because had he put that on the card, should have said, oh, there's something he needs to tell me. That was just my thoughts. I think they're probably limited in kind of being, I think, in my opinion. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I kind of thought the same thing, but I thought the producers probably told him or kind of guided him in what to say, or told him that he has to leave it open ended. Was kind of what I was guessing.
Yeah, that's probably true.
So, so Brian goes and sits for the rendezvous, hoping that Bailey will show up, and then he doesn't show up, or she does not end up showing up. She's talking to Priza in their room because it looks like they might be roommates. Um, and then Priza's like, "Well, who asked you? Who asked you?" So then Priza thinks it might be Brian. So Priza starts kind of reeling, and then finally Brian gives up and leaves. And then when they're kind of socializing after all of this, Brian walks up to Bailey, and Bailey's like, "Do you want to talk?" And then they end up talking, and Brian finally, someone tells Bailey what Jeremy has done leading up, what he has based their relationship off of at this point.
Yeah, I do think that his intention was much more so to get back at Jeremy rather than being a good friend to Bailey. But I think he did the right thing still.
I mean, regardless, Bailey had the right to know what was going on, and
Yeah.
we didn't realize until this episode. I don't know that other people actually knew.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
like, and nobody's telling her. It's like, I mean, come on. So, I mean, like, it was the right thing to do, no matter what the motive behind. I mean, that probably was the motive behind, at least part of it. In my opinion, is that
Yeah, I think he does like Bailey as a friend and stuff. So I'm not going to say that wasn't the motive at all, but I do think probably at least 50% of the motive was to get back at Jeremy in the first place. And then when we found out that half the people in Paradise already knew that Jeremy wants to propose to Susie, supposedly, or he wanted to, he would propose to her on the spot, and he didn't want to win with Bailey the bird competition, and he was calling Susie, asking her back. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, why hasn't anyone already told Bailey? Half the people here know, and nobody's just going to tell her. Nobody's going to tell her. Like, I just can't get over it.
I can't either. And they didn't even bring up the part where he was also on camera saying when they had that feather contest or bird contest that on camera he says, I don't want to win with Bailey because I don't want to go up to the room with her, because he was still stuck on Susie. I mean, nobody even brought that up. I mean, I don't know if it was said or not, but like there were so many things that she should have known. And somebody should have told her, like, regardless of Brian's intentions, like it was the truth.
Yeah.
Now I'm gonna pause and back up a second because Brian was hoping that she would come down. She didn't show up. Now we need to touch on this. Has got nothing to do with Brian, but as he was waiting, they showed the housekeeping cleaning a tree. I was just wondering what cleaning the tree was doing. I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
Power move.
Yeah, power moves only. I don't think it was for anything besides maybe some comedic relief. So, yeah, basically Brian finally spills the beans, tells Bailey almost everything. He didn't even tell her everything. There were a few small details that he even left out. We feel horrible for Bailey. She's crying. She wants to go home. And then she goes and confronts Jeremy. Jeremy's sleeping, and at first he doesn't know what's going on, and he's really groggy. And then Bailey drops the bomb. Did you call Susie? And just his expression and everything. And Bubba goes, "Oh, that woke him up real fast." And it was so true.
The look on his face was just, whoa.
He was so groggy, and then all of a sudden he processed it and he was with it. It was pretty hilarious as
and
we were watching.
He was awake, and then after they had a little conversation, and then he's like, "Whatever, I'm going back to bed."
Yeah.
Right back to sleep he goes.
They have a conversation. He tries to give her some reassurance, and he just lies down.
Just completely fails at giving reassurance. Maybe puts in a couple minutes of effort, and you know what? I'm going back to bed.
Yeah, seriously. And I'm sitting there. Even Alex knew, which Alex and Bailey are like besties, I'm pretty sure. So I'm pretty disappointed in Alex for not telling her before this as well.
I totally agree. I actually have in my notes written down that I don't think it's a good look that Alex didn't say anything. I know she mentions like she's good friends with Jeremy, whatever, but like she's obviously good friends with Bailey too, and didn't say a word. I mean, it showed and it flashed to her talking to Jeremy, being like, "You should tell her. You should tell her," and she didn't say anything this whole time. They're all just Bailey's just in the dark here. Yeah. Everybody's just kind of betraying her.
Right, and everyone's saying too, and later on in the episode, this really gets hammered home, but they keep saying like, "Oh, well, we were gonna wait for Jeremy. Jeremy should be the one to tell her." People, Jeremy was never gonna tell her. No. If he was gonna tell her, he would have already told her. So when was he gonna tell her? I would love to know that. To all the contestants on the show, when was he gonna tell her? Anyway,
okay. Yeah, I can see them not saying anything, like just trying to stay out of their business a little bit, but like, no, you gotta tell to a point, but like people should have told her that the night that happened.
Especially when they started to see how serious their relationship was getting.
Yeah.
Like, she should know that before she gets really serious. If it was not more casual and not as serious, then I could maybe kind of see that, but they're getting pretty serious at this point, and someone should have told her by now.
Yeah, and Brian should have told her the night of, but he waited.
Well, that's what everybody forgets. And he was told by, I don't know if Spencer also said something to him about you should tell her. Alex definitely said you should tell her. Yeah, Spencer did too. So it's like, okay, so they knew that he should, like, let's remind everybody. And this is where the episode kind of just starts unraveling and getting super dumb. Because this, mind you, people, this would have never happened if Brian would have just told her the truth.
This would have never happened if Jeremy wasn't a scumbag. How about that, people? This all started because Jeremy's a scumbag, and I feel like that totally gets lost in this episode. Also, I just have to say, after Brian talks to Bailey and tells her what's happening, he then goes back to the group, and everybody's kind of like questioning him, like, "Did you tell her? Did you tell her?" And he fibs and goes, "Tell her what?" And then Andrew's like, "Tell her about Jeremy," and he's like, "Tell her what about Jeremy?" Or however that conversation was going. And I actually loved that he did that, because I wanted him to make other people say what they are also not telling her, what they didn't tell her, because nobody even wants to say what Jeremy did. They don't even want to put it into words, because I think they all feel guilty for not telling her. Yeah. But now they're mad because they look bad because they also didn't tell her. Finally, Brian did it. So I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah. And how the conversation was is Andrew said, "Did you tell her about the phone call?" And then Brian said, What phone call?"
Yeah, that's how it went. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's how it went. And I love that he did that, because I wanted him to make Andrew talk about the phone call and say what it was.
Yeah.
Also, this is kind of where the episode just takes a complete turnaround, and Dale starts in on like, "Well, who told her? And Dale wants to keep this lie going. And then he even has the audacity to say, "Oh, I didn't think it was you," something along that lines. Because your integrity and character is too high for that.
Yeah, your integrity and character is too high to tell the truth, Brian. According to Dale, who is Guru God Jesus, knows everything. Okay?
Dale and Jeremy, you guys need so much medication mixed with like intensive therapy. Like, you guys need to find God or something.
They need to find something.
Something.
You
guys are losers. I just had to say that.
Yeah. So Dale, he's not gonna lecture Jeremy about his integrity and character for basing his relationship with Bailey off a lie. In the first place, he's not gonna lecture Jeremy. No. He's gonna lecture Brian for telling Bailey the truth. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Well, and then everybody's like this, like you said it perfectly while we're watching. This was like mob mentality. At this point, it all turns on Brian because he told Bailey the truth. I mean, don't forget, Jeremy keeps some lies going here. Bailey confronts him on the beach about about the proposal.
Just straight up, no, I never said that. I swear to God.
So it's
literally on camera, dude.
Yeah,
that he said he would propose to Susie on the spot. He completely denies that to Bailey.
Yeah, I mean, it's on camera. We all saw it. And at this point, the episode's taking a turn, and everybody, I don't know if they're forgetting, they don't care that Jeremy's the one who started this by lying. Jeremy has not told the truth. And somehow this is like, I haven't cared for Brian a whole lot during this thing, but this episode turned on Brian, and that was ridiculous. That this complete Jeremy, it's okay to lie and mislead somebody, totally blatantly.
Yeah. It's his business. He's allowed to lie in his relationship.
Yeah, and Brian's got
everybody else. Yeah. Wells is the only one that can see it for what it is.
Yeah. When Wells starts talking on the screen about how crazy this whole place is because they're all blaming Brian, we were all sitting there like, "Thank you." Okay, I want to take this time to get into some direct quotes from Jeremy.
Let's get it.
So
Did
Jeremy,
you by chance write any metaphors by Brian?
I didn't. But Brian,
this whole series, you have been on fire with these metaphors.
Yeah, Brian, we love your metaphors.
Every single time he's interviewed, he says at least one metaphor.
Jeremy, on the other hand, he just he has some quotes that are so, and he's dead serious as he says these things, and we burst out laughing because it's so dumb. But then on the other hand, it's like so twisted in his head. Jeremy's in his interview talking about how, well, what happened with Susie and him calling her and all that stuff, it wasn't even a big deal. That happened like 8 days ago. That's what he has the audacity to say. So wanted to pull that one out. And I wanted to also say, off of that, if it wasn't a big deal, Jeremy, then you would have already told her. So obviously it was a big deal because you were trying to not tell her, or you were scared to tell her and you were putting it off. So it was a big deal.
Once 8 days goes by, it's not a big deal, Sasha.
Yeah, in Jeremy's book at least. Meanwhile, Kim and Faith are totally oblivious to anything that's going on. They're totally in their own world, by the way. Making out with tongue.
Swallowing each other's faces.
Yeah. Another quote from Jeremy. I don't remember who he was talking to, but it was the next day, and they're talking about how the drama went down, and he says, "I was asleep, and I kept getting woken up."
Okay, I also have that written down.
He feels so disrespected by getting woken up.
Yeah, he's just complaining about keep getting woken up because Bailey came in and woke him up. She woke him up a couple times. And
I can't believe she did that.
That was pretty rude. That was pretty rude.
That.
Next quote I had from Jeremy. He says in his interview, technically, this is something that could have been avoided. Technically. Okay, Jeremy.
You think, Jeremy?
Yeah, and while this is going down, poor Bailey, she's in denial. She doesn't want to believe it. She wants to believe Jeremy when he bold-faced lies and says that he did not say that he would propose to Susie on the spot. Okay, another quote from Jeremy. He says, I do think that I should get control over what and when I tell my partner. Do you remember that one?
I do. When Jeremy lies, it is absolutely up to Jeremy when he exposes his lies, which to Jeremy that would be never, but that regardless, it's up to him.
Yeah,
it's his business,
Yeah, everybody can know what the lie is. Everybody can know what's going on, but Jeremy should get that control of when to tell Bailey.
For sure.
I thought that was totally twisted in the head.
Also, I just have to, by this point in the episode, the drama is now not about what Jeremy didn't tell, that he just has totally lied to Bailey and trying to date Susie. Nobody cares about that, I guess. They're only, at this point in the episode, they only care about who told Bailey. Right. Why? I don't understand why it matters who told Bailey.
And especially Dale. Especially Dale is super obsessed with who told Bailey, And then Kat gets super obsessed. And at this point, you can tell that Kat is totally brainwashed, completely brainwashed by Dale and his, what's the word?
Brain deadness.
Brain rot, brain deadness. Also his, sexism towards men.
Well, same with Andrew. He's like, that's bro code. It's like, literally at this point, everybody on the episode has drank the Kool-Aid now.
Yeah. And finally,
there's this mob mentality with everyone. Even what's his name with
Sean?
Yeah, Sean is like, what did he say when he went to vote?
He said, "Oh, well, Brian's not done anything personally to me, but it's the right thing to do." What? We're just gonna forget that Jeremy started all this by lying.
By being a loser, and it's the right thing to do, he says.
Everybody went down a couple notches for me. Like, I did like Kat. Kat was talking so stupid by this episode that I don't know if Kat can even...
You gotta remember who she's been dating this whole time.
She's totally brainwashed by him as well. So she's dumb to be with Dale in the first place, and now she's brainwashed by him. And I forgot what I was gonna say.
Well, the whole time Dale's not much better than Jeremy, so they both look stupid here.
Wells was the only one that said, "Okay, everybody's talking about breaking bro code. Okay, breaking bro code," and Wells says, "Well, really, it's just D-bag code," which I thought was great for him to say. Go Wells. Wells was the only one who saw it, just like Bubba said.
Yeah, he was the only one not drinking the Kool-Aid.
Yeah, and I'm just sitting here going, what is happening? Is this me? What's going on? How are they all turning on Brian telling the truth when they knew? And what's the difference if the truth came out? Why aren't they just being like, yeah, Jeremy shouldn't have told her? You know, at least we didn't have to tell her. There's so many different scenarios here, but at this point, that's just what they're honing in on. And then when Wells came in and interviewed him, I was like, okay, that at least Wells can see it, because I was even starting to second guess everybody drinking the Kool-Aid here. I don't get it.
Yeah. I have another direct quote from Jeremy. Quote: "If you wanted to talk to her about it, you should have talked to me first." From Jeremy. Because this guy has maybe some of the worst control issues I've seen in a very long time. He has control issues really bad.
Yeah, also, the quotes from Jeremy are great that you haven't written down. Don't forget, can we get some quotes from Kat about, she repeatedly says, if we can't keep somebody on here we can't trust. What, Kat? What are you talking about? It's Jeremy is the one who started this.
God.
Yeah, Brian's the one that told the truth. So why are you trusting Jeremy over Brian? It makes zero sense.
Also, I have to retouch on this. You know, Jeremy boldface, like, he's like, I never said that, I swear to God. Talking about, he said that he would propose to Susie on the spot.
Yeah.
Which Brian told Bailey. She confronts him. He says, I never said that. I swear to God. And she said, you promise? He goes, I swear to God. Okay, again, we touched on this, I think, last podcast. Do these people not realize, like, you're recorded? What part of that brain doesn't compute there? Do you get that?
I don't know if they, in their world, they want to believe that they never said that. They want to take it back so that they're just believing this alternate reality.
They literally think they didn't say it. Like, that's how narcissistic he is.
Yeah.
Like, Jeremy, you're a loser.
Oh, hey.
So are you, Dale.
Bubba, you actually, remember, you said, I can't, you also said this too. I'm going to call you out on this because you were like, I can't believe that you actually liked Jeremy. We did not see Jeremy previously, but Bubba did.
I literally feel embarrassed to say that I actually liked you pretty well on Jen's season, Jeremy. Like, that, it doesn't make me feel good that I used to think that.
Did he last long on that?
I think he got to 4th, I want to say.
Oh my gosh, are you serious?
Gross.
He was actually, like, I liked him. Like, they...
Okay, quit. You're going to have to quit talking.
Yeah.
Actually,
no, he was...
Here's an example of people can either make a comeback or they can go way down and do the opposite. Here's a classic. I don't know what Jeremy's reputation was. You didn't seem to mind him. You seem to like him. But, like, this is the first time we've seen him and puke.
Oofta. Big oofta. Okay, anything else you want to say about all the drama that went down before we talk about kind of how the show started to wrap up?
No. Well, what are you guys' thoughts? Another thing that I don't know if you want to talk about or not, but what are you, both of your thoughts on this turning into kind of a copycat of Survivor in a way?
I had that in my note near the end. Okay. They're just copying Survivor, and I think it's pretty lame. Think of your own thing. Like, Bachelor in Paradise had their own thing. They had their own whatever. The people would come in, people would get eliminated, they'd go on the dates, they'd get one-on-ones, this, that, and the other. They had their own thing going, you know. They totally switched it up to copy Survivor, and I think it's pretty dumb.
I've never seen Survivor, so...
You've never seen Survivor?
No.
Bubba's never seen Survivor?
I've never seen Survivor.
Jail.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Well, now he will be watching Survivor with us because Sasha makes me watch Survivor.
Yeah.
Okay.
She makes me watch these shows and I lose brain cells.
Maybe we should watch the new season of Survivor and react to that.
Yeah. You know, and like, yes, I think it's a copycat. I don't mind them changing some things up and making some stuff fun, but like, I think they can still do like kind of their own thing instead of doing like that whole voting thing was just Survivor orientated, walking up, voting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, I like the challenges and the little twist they're doing there. Like, that's not bad, but they could put a little different, put your own touch on it. Like, you have your own, I think they have their own thing. They've been very successful with Bachelor in Paradise, so there wasn't a need to do that. There must be some reason they like it, whatever. Maybe they're fans of Survivor. I don't know.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, like you said, I don't really mind the challenges either. It kind of makes things a little interesting, or at least tries to make things interesting. But yeah, you got to put your own touch on it. Okay, I also want to talk about all this drama happens. Jeremy is finally exposed. Somehow Brian turns into the villain. I don't. That whole thing is beyond me. Why everyone's ganging up on Brian now? All of a sudden, he's the bad guy. When Jeremy was the one in the first place doing all the bad stuff. And apparently, by the end of the episode, Bailey's making out with Jeremy again in front of everyone when he hands out the rose. Apparently, she's just going to take him back after all of this.
Yeah, Bailey, you are going to feel so dumb watching this back. I almost feel bad for you.
Well, agree. Well, do you remember? I think I said Bailey came across. Okay, Bailey has come across to me as being kind of dumb a little bit, anyways. And this not a good look for you, Bailey. It screams that it's a little bit desperate. I know she didn't wanna. She kind of wanted to hear the right things from Jeremy. Also, I also want to say a little note that I kind of forgot. You know, when we were kind of laughing because Jeremy was complaining, he kept getting woken up over this ordeal. In a way, a part of me at first thought, like, first, I think part of him kind of didn't care because Bailey was threatening to leave. Like, I'm going to leave. I think in a way, he didn't really, like, he kind of did his thing and said, well, I don't want you to leave. But he wasn't super, like, no.
Just trying to sleep. All he wanted to do was sleep.
Yeah,
I think personally,
all he does is stay on the show. Like, he doesn't care about his connection with Bailey.
No, I think in the back of his
Relationship with
head, he
Bailey.
was kind of like, well, I guess if she leaves, I could probably reach out to Susie. That was my thought.
Yeah, I wouldn't put it past him.
Again, you're saying?
Again.
Oh.
I think he would be like,
Yeah,
he'd be like, well, I guess if Bailey leaves, I'll just keep on the track with. That's been his plan all along, right? He was going to reach out to Susie after this and DM him,
Yeah.
and
You're probably right. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really curious. I was actually wondering, you know how on Bachelor and Bachelorette they'll do after the final rose and they'll have them on their live and they'll catch up. I don't think they do that for Bachelor in Paradise, but I'm really hoping for this season they
like
do.
the tell all, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
I really hope they do like after the final rose for this. I don't know if
Yeah.
they will. I'm really curious to see how the rest of the season wraps up and see how Bailey and Jeremy are doing present day.
I don't think they're going to last that long, is my prediction. But go ahead, Bubba.
I was just gonna say, how many? This was episode 7. How many more episodes are there? Do you know?
I have no clue.
Oh, okay.
Also, can we touch a little bit? I want to get your guys' thoughts on all the. What did you guys think about NFL player, the one and only Dale, giving advice through this whole thing to people?
Yeah.
Not a player.
Therapist.
NFL legend.
NFL legend.
Dale Loser Moss.
Yeah. For his go-to line is how many seasons he's played in the NFL.
The answer's 0. You were on the practice squad.
Yeah.
Correct.
God.
And then
You never saw the field. Never even saw it.
I love it. He keeps having these lines and giving advice like he's like this know-all therapist. It's a toss-up on who's more disgusting. Who do you think is more disgusting, Jeremy or Dale? Really?
I don't know. They could both say like, "I'm gonna end world hunger," and just because they're saying it, I'm gonna hate it. I don't even know. They suck so bad. Like they're at such a low level.
Yeah. I can't choose. They're both
so
utterly
horrible.
bad. I really
They're
can't
both
choose.
like not living in reality.
Who would you
Like,
say?
it's so horrible.
I would if I had to pick. If their gun to my head had to pick, I'd probably pick Dale being the worst.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's probably more delusional than Jeremy.
That's a
Probably.
Dale
think.
just wants to butt in on everyone. You can tell the way he walks around. He thinks he's so
yeah,
I don't know,
think he's the
grandiose or something.
King of everything.
He sits down. He thinks everybody's staring at him. He's going to give advice. He's going to establish dominance here. He's
Yeah.
going to do this. He's going to wrap his arm around. Just the way he moves and everything is disgusting. But also Jeremy is on the same level. Jeremy is obviously just as disgusting, if not more. So
Honestly, I don't know if I could pick because don't forget. Remember when Jeremy said he loved being in the power and he loved? Remember that?
yeah.
I mean, let's not forget how much he loves, quote, the power, having the power. In reality, he had no power, but he sure loved to think he did.
Yeah,
And all his lines from this show, this would be a tough one on. I got to think when they interviewed these people, they deliberately picked to showcase the stupidest people to get this result that headed to this episode right here, where I didn't even know what I was watching.
Yeah, it was, and just like you said, pretty much everyone went down a notch in my book after they ganged up on Brian and made him the bad guy, and were like, well, who's not telling the truth about who told Jeremy? And they completely forgot that Jeremy is the one lying in the first place. So, I really liked Andrew. I super liked him. He went down in my book after this, and so did Alex, and so did pretty much everyone else.
And Kat too. Kat was talking so dumb. Kat was talking so stupid. She's like
Dale Jr. She's turned into Dale Jr.
she has
Oh,
that
God.
Dale Jr. is exactly what she's turned into.
Oh,
Now, mind you, both
no.
Bailey and Kat have ignored all the red flags with these men.
Yes.
So capital DUMB. You can't get much dumber than that.
Yeah, I honestly feel bad for him.
I don't know if I can feel bad for him. That's just so stupid.
Yeah.
For who? The girls?
Yes, I mean
No,
they're
you can't.
almost just as bad as you're just gonna ignore all those red
Yeah.
flags. Dale's been doing the same thing, kind of similar.
Yeah.
The whole thing with Alicia and the way he's been acting.
Over.
Yeah.
Red flags all over the place. Okay. I think I got everything out of my system that I needed to say. You guys have anything else you want to say?
I think we got it out, but let's not forget.
Jeremy and Dale, please do not reproduce. Please.
Yeah, we do not need your genetics going into the
Please.
world.
No. What if they're NFL players?
No, they're gonna be in Dale's eyes, I'm sure.
Listen,
and he's gonna be a great father.
I was just gonna say, don't forget how great of a father.
Yeah, he
Now,
told us.
I mean, in
he's a
all
great
fairness,
father.
guys, Jeremy did lie to Bailey, but in all fairness, it happened 8 days ago.
Yeah.
It was 8 days ago, guys. This was so
Yeah.
long ago. This was
Mhm.
ancient history.
So I mean, maybe it shouldn't have mattered because it was 8 days ago.
He's onto something.
Oh
yeah.
my god. Okay, we need to sign out.
Yeah, we need to sign out. We're just this.
We're crashing out on
We're
Dale
crashing
and
out.
Jeremy.
We are. Are we going to talk about the preview at all, though?
I don't even remember the preview.
The preview it was
Brian said he's gonna punch Sean.
Oh yeah.
and then Kat and Alicia looks like they get into some kind of arguing there. I'm assuming it's over dumb Dale. Listen, you can't make this stuff up.
I think
Yeah.
Alicia and Dale would make a better couple. They're both seem like
Boy, after this
pretty
episode
big
with Kat,
losers.
I don't know.
Yeah. I will say I think Brian and Parisa have grown on me a little bit after this episode.
They have a little bit.
Oh, also, I'd like to say, like, through this whole
For
thing,
me
for
too.
Brian, I really wanted him to say through this whole thing when they were all mobbing and crashing out on him, I wanted him to say, hey, guys, what's the difference? Like, I told the truth. What's the big deal? I wanted him to stick up for himself.
Yeah.
I really wanted him to say, like, who, like, you guys didn't say anything. I told her the truth.
But I kind of felt bad for him because they're all ganging up on him, and he totally didn't expect that, and he just didn't know what to do. I don't think.
I know he should have stuck up for himself. I think, like,
He probably should have.
Yeah.
don't you think I wanted him to stick up?
I should have, yeah.
And just
but
said-
that's very hard when everyone's against you, but
Yeah.
he should
Yeah.
have.
And they have mob mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, watching this back, maybe he's just like he should have just been. There was a couple different scenarios, like maybe I don't really
would
know.
go to either Jesse or Wells because they don't drink none of the Kool-Aid and ask them there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I just
There
like
you
And
is.
Wells saw it straight, so I wanted
Yeah.
Wells to kind of be like, "Hey, man, stick up for yourself because you're in the right here. I don't know if he ever did tell him that.
Yeah, I wanted him to say that too. I was hoping he'd either say something to the group or say something to Brian, like, "Hey, you're not in the wrong. Just stick up for yourself and be like, I told the truth, no matter what. Like, did you guys not want her to know the truth? Like, what is the big deal? You guys remember who lied here? Why are you coming after me? He lied,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, and maybe because they were all voting against him, maybe he thought that, I don't know, he was thinking of the votes too. Because don't forget, they did a majority vote about who would not get a rose at the end.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we didn't touch
Could
on
be
that,
true.
and Brian did stay. We were. You thought Brian was leaving.
yep.
Yeah.
Faith and Kim ended up leaving.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, he can get his heart under control now.
Yeah.
They can
Yeah.
swallow each other's faces in private now.
Yes, exactly.
Perfect.
I can't wait to see how that one pans out. It was 2 days, and they were pretty serious. They were crying about his heart monitor.
But that's why they're so perfect for each other.
Yeah, no, I think they are.
All right, well, let's end the episode here. Thanks for watching. Make sure to come back so you can watch us react to episode 8. Bye.
Bye.
Peace.